Ready when you are. My name is Dima and this is the Wavelet Audio YouTube channel. And today I'm gonna break down the demo track I made entirely from RUNA snapshots. Even the drums, synths, impacts, everything, all from inside the engine. Let's dive in. Well, basically the main idea was created from this piece of music. I created this part using only staccato articulations from RUNA. I really liked this riff, and starting from this drum loop, I began to add like the same kind of instruments, like a lot of staccato articulations with a lot of post-processing. Well, the main secret behind this post-processing is, like how I said before, you just take any kind of a short articulation from RUNA, and then you just throw a bunch of distortions, amplifiers, and cut it all down with the low-pass filter. It's just a pizzicato articulation with pitch down microphones, first microphone by 2 octaves, and the second microphone is by 1 octave. Then all you have to do is just put a lot of distortion, saturation, and compression, and cut it all down with the low-pass filter. Of course, you can add like different tones, colors with some exotic kind of plugins like side delay. In this case, I added a lot of wet signal and pitched it down by 1 octave. You get this like kind of textural, granular pitching down effect, like in Crystallizer by Soundtoys, but inside of a Kontakt instrument. That's basically it. Then you do the same kind of processing with the second microphone, which we drop down only by 1 octave. Then you put it all together in the master chain, and then again add a lot of compression, saturation, and all that kind of stuff. From this drum loop, I came up with this strings riff. This is just RUNA with a lot of compression and distortion. Then I repeated the melody on the same patch, but with different post-processing. Then in the gaps, I added a simple run melody. Just some simple fillers. And all other kind of stuff, like additional layers, just like to fill up the spectre of our song. And for the second part of our climax, I added a RUNA with huge amount of harmonics. Put a lot of saturation in it. And well, that's basically it for the string part of our climax. I thought the song is kinda empty without the depth, background layers, like any pads. I decided to add a lot of patches with a huge amount of post-processing. This is like the same technique on the drums. You use short articulation, but with the main focus on the high frequencies. Like you cut low end of the sound and put a lot of distortion, reverbs, delays. Like for example, this sound. This is one of my favorite patches from all the list, with some additional delay on it. Harmonics short, but with a 0 milliseconds sample start. Compression, distortion, a little bit of chorus, and the same technique with side delay. A little bit of high boost here. Well, this is kinda interesting. This pulse I made using this rhythm page in RUNA, and the clean sounds is kinda like this. Distortion and saturation. And of course, don't forget some phasers or flangers for the moving effect. And this guy. I like this so much. This works so great in the context. This is the same short articulation, but with like a little bit of different processing. I dare you to go to RUNA's snapshot folder and check out all the snapshots we made. I believe they're great for any kind of music production. The main call was this guy. This is the same technique with the pitching down microphone. First is by 2 octaves and the second only by 1 octave. And because of this pitching down effect, a little bit of pitch movement in the sound began to sound a little bit slower. And that's why we get this pitch drifting effect. Then I added a lot of distortion, compression, and the same thing with pitching down the delay output using side delay in Kontakt. Then I added this guy. This is the same kind of sound, but with a little bit of different processing and a lot of reverb. Added a lot of calls, how I called it here in this project. The same pitching down technique with a lot of compression, distortion, and reverb. This adds a lot of depths and movement in the sound. Like this part is very eerie and deep and with a huge drone under it, and I needed some sort of storytelling moment and a lot of movement in the sound. The short articulation with the ricochet and a lot of distortion and reverb. Then I added some soft strings. The patch is called, I believe, Decay Intimate Strings. After that, I added a lot of drums. I take all the drums from the climax and put it in the intro and made them a little bit quieter and rare sounding. Well, speaking about the drums again, I like this guy very much. I'm not gonna go through all the effects. I let it to do it by yourself. Explore the snapshots of the library, please. The main idea was inspired by Doom, the Dark Ages soundtrack, and I liked that the composers of this game used a lot of synthetic screams of the demons from the game and so on. I thought, why don't I just make something like this? This sound served as the main idea for the transition from the intro and the climax. Added a lot of like modulations, filters, distortions, drop downs, and all that kind of stuff to make the song interesting, dynamic, and to force it to tell the story of our Doom Dark Ages inspired soundtrack. The main idea was just to resample stuff. Like you take the reverb tail of the bass, resample it, reverse it, and you get pretty great sounding reverse for your song. Then you do it like for 20 times in a row and get some pretty cool sounding sample library with your cinematic reverses. And of course you can do it with everything you want, just like pitch it down, pitch it up, put a lot of distortion, reverb, filters, delays on it, and you can manipulate this initial sound like how you want. For example, from this short part of our drum loop, I made this impact. I resample the sound, the drum loop with a lot of distortion and compression, and shape it with a lot of equalization and get the sound. And it served like a basis of the climax part. Alright, that's it for the breakdown. If you want to check RUNA for yourself or find more information about it, you can do so with the links down in the description. Hope that helped. Now go make something amazing.